You will notice that the worksheet has letters down the left-hand side, A, B, C, and D, and there are 4 problems for each letter. Except for the first one, I will name all of them either A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, and so on. Let's look at A1. First, you have 4 times the quantity of x plus 5. What do you think the answer is? Remember that whatever we do to one number or letter inside the parentheses, you must do to the other one. And we're going to do the same thing depending on what number or letter is outside the parentheses. In this case, the 4 is outside, so we're going to multiply 4 times the x and times the positive 5. Start with bringing the 4 down into the black boxes. Now bring down the x into the red box and the positive 5 into the blue box. To find your answer, you multiply 4 times x, which is really 1x, and 4 times 1 is 4, and then bring the x down. Then you have 4 times a positive 5. The 4 is positive and the 5 is positive, so your answer is positive, and 4 times 5 is 20. Your first answer is 4x plus 20. Now look at A2. Negative 4 times the quantity of x plus 5. What do you think the answer is? Again, we are going to multiply negative 4 times each letter or number that is inside the parentheses, so bring down the negative 4 into your black boxes. Your first inside the parentheses is an x, which is really 1x. And then you have a positive 5. Now solve it by multiplying. Negative 4 times the 1x is a negative 4, and keep the x. Negative 4 times a positive 5, you have a negative times a positive, so it will be a negative, and then 4 times 5 is 20. Your answer is negative 4x minus 20. Now look at A3. 4 times the quantity of x minus 5. What do you think the answer is? Again, bring down your 4 because you will multiply the x and the negative 5 times the 4. Bring down your x, which is really the 1x, and then bring down your negative 5. Now solve it. Remember that the x is technically a 1, so 1x. 4 times 1, they're both positive, it's a positive 4, and bring down your x. Positive 4 times a negative 5, a positive times a negative is a negative, 4 times 5 is 20, so your answer is 4x minus 20. Now look at A4. Negative 4 times the quantity of x minus 5. What do you think the answer is? Okay, you're going to multiply negative 4 times each letter or number, so we bring down the negative 4. Bring down your x, which again is really a 1x, and bring down your negative 5. Now solve it. Negative 4 times 1, you have a negative times a positive, so your answer is going to be a negative. 4 times 1 is 4, bring down your x. Then you have a negative 4 times a negative 5. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 5 is 20. Your answer is negative 4x plus 20. Now look at B1. 6 times the quantity of 7 minus k. What do you think the answer is? Don't be confused that the k comes second in the answer. And remember, as always, when it's just a letter, it means there's technically a 1 in front of it. Okay, you're going to multiply 6 times each of those, so you make sure you put your 6 in the black boxes. Your first number is a 7, a positive 7. And your second one is a negative k. Remember, it's technically a negative 1k. Now solve it. A positive 6 times a positive 7 is a positive 42. A positive 6 times a negative 1 is a negative. 6 times 1 is 6, and bring down your k. Your answer is 42 minus 6k. For B2, you have negative 6 times a quantity of 7 minus k. What do you think the answer is? First, bring down your negative 6, then your 7, and then your negative k, which again is really a negative 1k. Now solve it. A negative 6 times a positive 7, negative times a positive makes it a negative. 6 times 7 is 42. Then you have a negative 6 times a negative 1k. A negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 1 is 6. And bring down your k. Your answer is negative 42 plus 6k. Look at B3. 6 times the quantity of 7 plus k. What do you think the answer is? You will multiply with 6, so put 6 in each of your boxes. Bring down your 7. And bring down your positive k, which again is really a 1k. Now solve it. A positive 6 times a positive 7 is a positive 42. A positive 6 times a positive 1k is a positive 6k. Your answer is 42 plus 6k. Check out B4. A negative 6 times the quantity of 7 plus k. What do you think the answer is? Start out with your negative 6 in each of the black boxes. Bring down your first number, which is 7. And bring down your next one, which is a positive k. Remember, it's really a positive 1k. Now it's time to solve. A negative 6 times a positive 7 is a negative 42. A negative 6 times a positive 1k is a negative 6k. Your answer is negative 42 minus 6k. Look at C1. 2 times the quantity of 7n minus 10. What do you think the answer is? First, start off with your 2, which is what you're going to multiply with. Now bring down your 7n and your negative 10. Now it's time to solve. A positive 2 times a positive 7 is a positive 14, and bring down the n. A 2, which is positive, times a negative 10 is a negative 20. Your answer is 14n minus 20. Now look at C2. Negative 3 times the quantity of 5w plus 2. What do you think the answer is? You're multiplying with the negative 3, so bring that down to the black boxes. Then bring down your 5w, which is a positive, and your positive 2. Now it's time to solve. A negative 3 times a positive 5w is negative 15w. A negative 3 times a positive 2 is a negative 6. Your answer is negative 15w minus 6. C3. 4 times the quantity of 2n minus 6. What do you think the answer is? First, bring down the 4 that you are multiplying with. Then the positive 2n. And finally, the negative 6. Now solve. A positive 4 times a positive 2n is a positive 8n. A positive 4 times a negative 6 is a negative 24. Your answer is 8n minus 24. C4. 9 times the quantity of 2 minus 4w. What is your answer first? First thing you do is bring down the 9 into the black boxes. Then bring down your positive 2. And finally, your negative 4w. Now solve it. A positive 9 times a positive 2 is a positive 18. A positive 9 times a negative 4w is a negative 36w. Your answer is 18 minus 36w. For D1, Don't be confused. You have the quantity of 8 minus h times the quantity of negative 3. The reason why the negative 3 is in parentheses is because it's a negative, and so not to confuse you. But that is the number that is going to be multiplied times the 8 and times the negative h. So that is why I changed my colors so that you still see the red and blue colors inside the big parentheses, but the number that's on the outside is in black, and that's the negative 3. See what you can find for an answer. The first thing you need to do was bring your negative 3 down into the black boxes. Now bring down your positive 8 and your negative h, which again, there's no number there, so you should know that it's a negative 1h. Now solve this. A positive 8 times a negative 3 is a negative 24. A negative 1h times a negative 3 is a positive 3h. Your answer is negative 24 plus 3h. For D2, again you have the number that is outside the parentheses at the back, so you have to switch around your colors. You have the quantity of 2r plus 5 times 6. What would you get for an answer? Remember, the 6 is what you're going to multiply times each, so you bring down the 6 into the black boxes. The 6 is the one being shared. Then you bring down your 2r, which is a positive, and your positive 5. Now solve it. A positive 2r times a positive 6 is a positive 12r. A positive 5 times a positive 6 is a positive 30. Your answer is 12r plus 30. Try D3. The quantity of negative 7 minus m times the quantity of negative 4. Again, negative 4 is what you're going to share, so that is the black one, and that is in the black boxes. So first bring down your negative 4. Then bring down your negative 7. And finally, your negative m. There's no number there in front of the letter, so you know that that's a negative 1m. Now solve it. A negative 7 times a negative 4 is a positive 28. A negative 1m times a negative 4 is a positive 4m. Your answer is 28 plus 4m. Last one, D4. The quantity of negative 8g plus 4 times the quantity of negative 3. Negative 3 is the number you will share, so that is in black. What is your answer? First start off by bringing the negative 3 down. Then bring down the negative 8g. And finally, the positive 4. Now solve it. A negative 8g times a negative 3 is a positive 24g. A positive 4 times a negative 3 is a negative 12. Your answer is 24g minus 12. I hope this was helpful. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the box now. Thanks and have a great day.